this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So we had no news video last week, the reason being because my SD card died, which was very sad, and now I know, always have two. Always have two SD cards. But the reason that I was the saddest is because I had gone on this long, wonderful tangent about Monster Hunter 4, how it's coming here, and now it's just lost forever. But the new Monster Hunter is coming to the West! Pew, pew! So jazzed. As for news from this week, the Able Gamers Accessibility Awards for 2013 came out, and you probably won't be able to guess what their #1 game was. #1 accessible mainstream game was Final Fantasy XIV. Never would have guessed that. And the #1 accessible indie game was Stanley Parable. So basically what this means is regardless of how able-bodied you are, you would still be able to play these games for the most part, which is very cool. And not exactly the same, but along the same lines, Borderlands 2 is now going to have a colorblind mode. They realized that they denote so many things with their weapons by color, and that it was probably very difficult for people who are colorblind. Like, you've determined rarity, you determine what sort of ability the gun has, all based on color. Those are the things that stick out. And so when you're colorblind, it's harder to tell, you don't know. Coolest part to me is that they're making it so that you can choose what type of colorblind you are. I think that there are 3 in there right now, and I don't know if that's where they're stopping, but I think that's awesome. They're not just like, oh, we have a red-green colorblind mode now. So for people with other color blindnesses, sorry. A new trailer for Sherlock Crimes and Punishments came out, and for whatever reason a lot of people are referring to it as modern. So I have a few friends that are like, did you hear that the new Sherlock game is modern? Like, it's set in the future, which is not what everybody means. It's not set in the future. So the reason everybody's got their bristles up about this game, and remember, Frogwares has made so many Sherlock Holmes games, like just tons of them. So with this newer trailer, everybody's really starting to feel like Sherlock is taking on a more modern adaptation of the character. Actually, I'm gonna step back over here so that you can see. So like, in the trailer you see the Benedict Cumberbatch sort of Sherlock come out, where he sees words all around the place when he's meeting people and when he's like deducing things. And then they're having him be like super scrappy with 007 James Bond music in the background, and it's all it feels very different. I honestly think that the thing that's off-putting about it is that they feel very strongly that their Sherlock has to reflect this Sherlock that everybody's obsessed with. Otherwise they won't get people buying their game. And I really wonder how well these games do when they come out, like whether or not the profit margin has been just bad. With every game, the mechanics grow. They turn into something else. I'm totally fine with that. I do think that it's a little strange that they're pulling so much from the different TV shows that have been happening, but I'm trying not to judge because I love those games and I'm like, oh, a new interesting way to play the game, because it's hard to make a Sherlock game, I'm sure, to figure out an easy but interesting way for a person playing the game to put pieces together. Like, how do you make that visually interesting without it just being like a weird word game? Do I think that this is going to detract from the fun that I found in all of the other games? No, absolutely not. But I think it's just the exact same thing that happens anytime you try to make something more within line of the mainstream, is that the people that really loved it for what it is are gonna be like, no, come on, more of this. And then the people that really love this are gonna be like, oh, this game is more in line with what I love about this thing. That didn't make any sense. You probably get it though. You're smart cookies. Apart from letting us know that Nintendo has lost a lot of money, they also announced that they are going to start focusing a lot on health peripherals and health games. Now you, the viewer, might say, oh my goodness, really, Nintendo? Really, that gimmick? But hear me out. Wii Fit did very well. Brain Age did very well. People love things that make exercising fun. Look at Dance Central, look at any games like that. Now they have tried doing other stuff like this before. They had the little finger clippy thingy. You know, like when you go into the hospital, finger clippy thingy that like reads your heart rate. Any doctors or nurses out there right now are going, oh my god! But the finger thingy, they were making that as a peripheral for the Wii, I believe. The Wii wasn't out yet. It was the Wii. It was quite a while ago. They scrapped it because it only read the heart rate of like 3% of the population. So now they're trying to focus on things that can help you health-wise without needing an actual physical peripheral. but I don't think that they can do that. I don't think that that's possible, because you would at least need something like the Kinect, right? Which is a physical peripheral. You would need something that can scan your body or what have you. And you have to remember that along with the fact that the Wii was very casual, they also have been around long enough that they have quite a few older people that really are on the Nintendo side. So they are going to be interested in this sort of thing. Anybody who's trying to lose weight will be interested in this sort of a thing. I think that it's probably actually going to do very well if they really focus on it, because their other stuff like this has done amazingly. So I don't know if this is a plan for their next generation of console, or if this is a plan to help boost the sales of the Wii U. Either way, I'm just kind of like, go for it, Nintendo. You got dollars. Just do it. Just do it. Those of you who play or are just interested in the game EVE probably know that the biggest battle to date happened, and it involved over 4,000 players. It was craziness. You guys, I don't even care if you don't care about EVE. I don't care, because you need to see the screenshots from this battle. It was insane. Like, there's an Imgur portfolio. I'm just gonna link you to it because it's crazy. Those pictures are gorgeous. It's just ships everywhere, and lasers, and oh my god, it's crazy. Now why did this battle take place? Okay, as a person who does not play EVE, I'm going to try to explain this while mishmashing both sides of the story, because I find it so interesting. So, there are solar systems that you can gain control of, but you have to pay rent to have control of them, essentially. So there was an entire system that suddenly was up for grabs. They hadn't paid rent. And everybody was super excited to go in there, because all of the goods that are in that solar system are immediately neutral. So you have to fight over them. Now the people who were in control of the system were like, we paid rent. I don't know what's going on. We paid. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But regardless, like it or not, it turned into a huge battle. There were over 100 titans involved, which, they're worth a lot of real money. Like, real world dollars. They're worth around 3,000, sometimes up to 5,000. They're very expensive. They are worth a lot. So this battle went on for... Sorry, my neighbor came to the door and talked about mail. It was riveting. Oh, I can't even remember what I was saying. Like, something about ships. Ships, right? Oh god, I think I was talking about how... Alright, so they did between $300,000 and $500,000, like real money dollars, worth of damage. Like, that's how many ships were destroyed. Insane. Anyway, let's move on, because I've lost my train of thought, but not my love for those screenshots, and you better look at them. They're gorgeous. Just make them your wallpaper, okay? Just make them your wallpaper. They're beautiful.
Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Hi, what are you doing? Yeah? Hey. Hi, sweet girl. Do you want to tell everybody about Everquest next? Oh, do you want to just... Come here. Ugh. I'll tell everybody about Everquest next. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, and here's the big guy. All the tripod rubbings are gonna happen. Oh, yep. Okay, so EverQuest Next Landmark has gone into alpha as of last night. Now, EverQuest Next Landmark isn't the actual EverQuest Next game. It's the sandbox that is directly connected to the regular MMO. This is hard to explain. Anyway, it's in alpha now. If you bought the Trailblazer or Explorer founder packs, then you should have gotten an email saying, hey, you want to be part of the alpha? And if you didn't get that email, but you did buy those packs, you should probably contact them and be like, yo, what up? You can still buy one of those packs if you want, if you're just desperate to be part of alpha. So it's basically, look, it's basically EverQuest Minecraft. That's how it feels to me. And the screen caps are gorgeous. Not to harp on and on and on about screen caps in this news video, but it looks beautiful. And I really want to play it, so... Hey, EverQuest people, you should let me in alpha. There we go. EverQuest Next is one of those games that I am just so excited for. I haven't been excited about a game like that in a really, really long time, and I haven't really played a game like that in a really, really long time. So, being somebody who was so into EverQuest, like the first EverQuest, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for EverQuest Next. As a final bit of news, in China, they are now lifting their ban on game consoles because I guess they decided that games don't turn people into mass murderers, which is great. I'd say, oh wow, then that's a whole huge population of people that Microsoft and Sony and all of those other companies can now take advantage of. I'm sure that that's going to help them out a lot, which is true. But there is also a Chinese company called TCL that has been seeing some losses lately, some money losses. And man, they are gearing up for the entertainment gaming business right now. Planning on making their own home console, although we don't know when it'll come out, we don't know what it's gonna be called, nothing about that, but the second that it happened, the second that they were allowed to, they were like, oh yeah! China is huge. I don't know if you guys remember, but just think back to school and remember, China is huge. There are so many people there. So it's gonna be an interesting power struggle to see who is gonna really like capture their attention. The big problem with the Chinese console at first will be the fact that there won't be any games for it. Whereas all of these other consoles already have plenty of games going on and plenty of past franchises to delve into. But again, because China is so huge, I bet that there are going to be plenty of companies that are gonna say, hey, you need games? Hey, you want games? I don't know, I think it's really interesting because that ban has been there for so long. Like, different companies have been trying so hard to sell in China and they can't, they legally couldn't. And now it's legal and it's like, what do we do? Oh my god, here, the 2014 is looking pretty interesting. Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in my comment section. And if you would like to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. For those of you who are waiting on an update from the charity stream, we are still just waiting to see how much money we made on ads. But it's looking to be a pretty fantastic number, so I can't wait to make that update. If you guys have any pictures of you in the Burritos, Coffee, Cats, and Heart shirt, I also want to feature those, so send them to me, email them to me at pressheart2continue@gmail.com. And it might show up. Might show up in a video. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, have a fantastic week and a fantastic weekend, you guys. Bye-bye. All the tripod rubbings are gonna happen. Oh, yep.